Okay, so, when you think street food, I feel like we all have this image in our heads, right? That it's quick, it's cheap,
Yeah.
maybe a little risky even. But this article you sent over, total game changer.
Really?
I never thought about how much street food actually shapes cities, like
Yeah.
really shapes them.
It is fascinating when you start to think about it. Yeah, it's like we don't even realize how deeply connected it is to like history,
Totally.
culture,
Yeah,
economics even.
right. Like I always knew it had been around forever. I mean, you picture ancient Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's grabbing lunch on the go, but
Of course.
it's not just about convenience, is it?
No, no.
It's like this window into how cities actually work,
It really
who
is.
they are. And that's what I love about what this article brings up, this whole idea of street food being both like deeply traditional,
Yeah.
but also constantly evolving at the same time.
It's that push and pull. You get that sense of history, passed down
Yes.
generations. You can just imagine like biting into a taco in Mexico City,
Oh, stop. Now I want tacos.
made with a recipe that's been like perfected over decades.
Right. Okay, but then on the flip side, you mentioned food trucks in LA. You got these amazing chefs, right?
Absolutely.
They're doing Korean BBQ, but with those classic taco flavors.
Exactly.
That's modern street food.
Modern street food in action.
So cool. What drives that, though?
Uh-huh.
That constant change?
Right.
Is it just chefs wanting to try new things?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that.
Or is there something more?
I think it's a little deeper, yeah. You've got cultural exchange.
Okay.
You've got economic factors at play, too. I mean, think about it. Globalization.
Hmm.
People are traveling more than ever.
That's true.
They're experiencing all these different cuisines,
Yeah.
and they're bringing those ideas back home with them.
Right, right.
It's like this constant flow of culinary inspiration.
Makes sense. And as cities become more diverse, which, hello, their street food's going to reflect that too.
Exactly. It's like a mirror
Yeah.
reflecting those changing demographics. Oh, I like that.
That cultural landscape. But it's not always about, new ingredients or fancy fusion dishes. Sometimes it comes down to necessity.
Necessity? What do you mean?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
You're a street food vendor. You're working with limited space,
Right.
limited resources, limited budget. You've got to get creative. You got to stand out, right? Attract those customers.
Yeah.
So maybe they're putting new twists on traditional dishes,
Okay.
using local ingredients in a way that you wouldn't expect,
Interesting.
or even coming up with entirely new dishes,
Uh-huh.
ones that really cater to those modern tastes.
So it's not just like fancy chefs in their fancy kitchens trying to be all innovative. It's street vendors just adapting
Exactly.
to their environment,
Right.
adaptability, finding those creative solutions.
That's what makes street food so resilient. It can thrive in that constantly changing urban landscape,
Yeah.
always evolving,
So true.
meeting the needs of the people. And it's interesting because we've talked about like the history, right?
Mhm.
Cultural influences, even the economics of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But one thing that always gets me about street food is the social part of it. Like it's different.
Oh, absolutely. It's an experience.
Yes.
Grabbing a bite from a street vendor, it just feels more connected somehow,
Right.
more alive than like a stuffy restaurant.
Yes. It's like you're sharing that experience with the people around you,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't even know them. You're crammed in there, shoulder to shoulder, enjoying the same smells.
The same energy.
Yes. It's such a different vibe from like a quiet, formal restaurant.
It's about the sensory experience, right?
Totally.
The sights, the sounds.
But the smells.
The smells, yes. The whole atmosphere. You're immersed in the city,
Yeah.
experiencing it alongside people from literally all walks of life. It's powerful.
It really is. It's like street food is like this social glue.
Yes.
It brings people together who might not ever interact otherwise.
Exactly. It creates a sense of community. You just don't get that in the same way anywhere else.
Makes you think about that hot dog vendor on the corner a little differently, huh?
Right.
It's not just a hot dog. It's like you're part of something bigger.
It's that connection, yeah, to the city, to each other. And, speaking of connections, the article touched on something that I thought was really interesting. This whole idea of street food as like a cultural ambassador,
Oh, tell me more about that.
It's like each plate tells a story,
I love that.
a journey through history, heritage.
100%. Like when I think about like Little Italy or Chinatown, those neighborhoods, those food traditions, those didn't just pop up overnight,
No,
generations of families
sharing their culture.
sharing those food traditions. And it often starts with street vendors.
Exactly. It's a way for immigrants, especially, to like hold on to that piece of home
Yeah.
while they're sharing their culture with this new community.
Right?
Think about like Indian street food, right?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Just that aroma of spices, the colors, the variety. It's incredible.
It's more than just grabbing a samosa.
Or for an experience.
You're experiencing that culture through the food,
Exactly.
the tradition. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's like a delicious passport
Right.
to the world right there on the corner.
On your doorstep.
And what's so cool is like, yeah, it's rooted in these traditions, but the article also talked about how street food is going global too.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's not just a developing world thing anymore, right?
Not at all.
You see it everywhere.
It's embraced by foodies in major cities. I mean, look, you've got food trucks in Paris serving everything from gourmet burgers
Yeah.
to pad thai.
It's amazing.
It's breaking down barriers,
Totally.
becoming this really amazing form of cultural exchange.
So it's both deeply personal, right? It's a reflection of someone's heritage, their own personal history, but then it's also this thing that's reaching out and connecting with people from all over the world.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So cool.
And now you're seeing, like, Michelin star chefs getting in on the game,
Oh, really?
bringing those culinary skills to the world of street food.
Wait, Michelin star street food.
Yeah,
Okay, that sounds kind of amazing, actually.
it's happening.
But I get it, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's this demand for that authentic, high-quality food, but also still street food, right?
Exactly. It's not just a quick, cheap bite anymore.
Right.
People want those unique flavors. They want fresh ingredients, innovative dishes, and they want it all in that street food setting.
So it's like street food's having its hot cuisine moment,
A little bit, yeah.
but without, like, losing those roots.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Accessibility, the cultural significance.
It's still connected to the city.
Exactly. That adaptability,
Cool.
that ability to evolve, but keep its essence at the same time. That's what's so fascinating about street food, at least to me. It's a real testament to human creativity. Our desire to connect with each other through food, It doesn't matter your background, your budget, anything.
That's true. It's like no matter how much cities change, how modern life gets, there's always going to be a place for it.
Always. It's a constant, a reminder of our shared humanity,
It's true.
Our love for delicious, soul-satisfying food.
It's pretty amazing how something so simple, right?
Yeah.
Like a food stall
I know, right?
can have so much meaning behind it.
So much history.
So much history. I'm never going to look at a street taco the same way again.
Me neither. See, this is what I love about it, like digging into these everyday things. It's
Yeah.
like you start to see the world differently.
Totally. It's like that saying, right? The world is a book, and those who don't travel only read one page.
Yes.
But in this case, it's like those who don't eat street food,
Yes.
missing out on a whole chapter of the human experience.
100%. And it's so true. The next time you're walking down the street, okay, and you smell something amazing, like wafting from a food cart.
Oh, yeah.
Don't just keep walking. Stop.
Yeah.
Savor it.
Yes.
Talk to the person behind the counter.
Yeah, they're people too.
Ask them about the food. Ask them about their story.
Oh, that's such a good point.
You might be surprised what you find.
Right. It's about, like, being present,
Yes.
enjoying, appreciating, and like you said, that quick bite
Mm-hmm.
could be a window into, like, a whole other culture, another way of life, even.
100%.
So well said. Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of street food for today.
I think so.
What a delicious topic.
It really was. It's been so fun exploring this with you.
Likewise. And to all our listeners out there, we hope this deep dive has, like, opened your eyes a bit to this amazing world
Yes.
of street food. So next time you've got a craving, skip the chain restaurant, okay? Go find a local street food vendor instead. You just might be surprised at what you discover.
Until next time, happy eating, everyone.